everybody. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. I'm very excited for today's episode as we review Rebel Moon. Oh, my bad. Small Couch Reviews. It's your host, it's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Yes, and yeah, Rebel Moon. Okay, so if you don't know, we're late because this movie came out a little while ago. I think maybe about 3
3 weeks
weeks
ago.
ago. Yeah. So, if you don't know, this is Zack Snyder, Justice League
The
300,
Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Owls of Gawool. That Zack Snyder. He wanted to make a Star Wars movie. He pitched it, and they were like, nah, we're not with it. Now, I think he wanted to make it R-rated.
Yeah, that was the big caveat. It was like, hey, yeah, you can make your film, but it can't be R-rated.
Right. So he took the idea. So, Star Wars, Disney's passed on it. Took it to Netflix, and they were like, all right, cool. But for whatever reason, I guess because his
you
toxic
can't make
fans
it
like
R-rated.
Snyder cuts, he made it PG-13, and they're going to release a Snyder cut version that is R-rated, which doesn't make any sense.
No,
Just
doesn't
release
at all.
the movie you wanted to make. But
Right.
anyway, because he wanted to make a Star Wars movie, and he couldn't, he made a movie that is, let's say, inspired by Star Wars.
There we go.
Inspired by Star
Heavily
Wars.
inspired. So much so when my son was watching the preview with me, I was like, do you want to watch this? He was like, oh, is this Star Wars? And I was like, it's funny you say that. It's inspired by Star Wars. It was supposed to be a Star Wars film that never made.
Happened. So, quick rundown: the Empire, or what do they call them? The Imperium. So the Empire in this movie is called something else. They work for something called the Mother World. They were led by a king who died, so then one of the king's advisors took his place and became like a dictator over the entire galaxy, right?
Yes.
So one of the new leaders, generals, is hunting these people, and he comes across this moon because it's a moon that has a farm on. The moon is called Velt, and Velt has grain and food and all that stuff that his army needs. So he's like, hey, let me buy some grain off you, and you'll
get some food.
You'll be helping your galaxy. You'll be helping your galaxy.
Right.
You'll be helping other worlds. You'll be remembered. The Empire in this movie, they are literally Nazis. They are actual.
Yeah, it's very clear that's what he was going for.
Yeah, they're actual Nazis. So it's kind of like you saw the movie Inglourious Basterds?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's just like the beginning of Inglourious Basterds, where you meet this guy who seems nice at first, but then he turns out to be this monster. I guess they brought for another movie. Yeah. So basically, the plot of this movie, which it's gonna be hard to. Once they get on this moon is someone who used to work for the Empire, like the most wanted woman in the galaxy, played by Sofia Boutella.
Literally the most wanted woman in the galaxy.
Yeah, literally. Her name she's taking the name Cora at this time. That's the name she goes by. And she's hiding out on this moon, and she's like, yo, this Empire is really bad. We shouldn't be. She's the reason, they're hesitant to even help. They're like, yo, we shouldn't help them. Trust me, I know, yada, yada, yada. So then it turns into like the Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai, where Sofia Boutella then is like, in order to defend this village, I'm going to go find warriors to help us fight. So then it becomes that movie, and they travel across the galaxy finding people.
And then put together a band of misfits.
Yep.
And it all happens they put a team together in less than an hour.
Yeah, Jovi, so really all I wanted to say was it's Star Wars based, and you're the big Star Wars guy. What did you think of the film? That's all I want to know.
I mean, y'all already know I have to give the bad first, right? Mm-hmm. But I also have to I understand making a movie is not easy.
That is true.
Making a new world is not easy.
Yes.
But with that being said, if you couldn't make your Star Wars film, I would have much preferred that it not have been so just like it takes away from Zack Snyder's creative, amazing mind when I watch this film.
What creative? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When I watch this film, because it makes it feel like it's like, yeah, I couldn't do it, so now we're gonna like do the great value version of these characters. Even with the last 3 Star Wars films being trash, you cannot rush character development in the first film. Dune did an amazing job by setting up something for us. You did not just set up something for us. Like I said, they put together the greatest criminals, the greatest warriors that all have motivation to go against this mother.
The mother world, yeah.
The mother world in an hour. We have to care, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about Korra yet. Why the hell would I care about these 7 people that you brought together?
Like Zack Snyder, I guess he really doesn't understand show don't tell, because literally he'll be like, "Oh, this is a general who led the armies and he's great. We have to go get him." Yeah. They find him, get him. He's on the ship. You never hear from him again.
The only thing that I did enjoy is I can see this being a universe that I would want to see. Again, I would love to see their perspectives and their motivation to like come to this could just been the beginning of the Korra, us learning about Korra, and then we could have learned about the other, like you're saying, the warrior that ran, then we all could have came together. You could have with the Netflix deal, and I'm trying to say this without just destroying it. It could have been way more than just 2 movies.
Jovi, Young, seriously, like we don't talk about these things beforehand.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Maybe we are too insane, because that's you're taking what I was going to say. Like, seriously.
That is a positive. That is a positive. No, and it could sound like it's not. You have this universe that you're making, but you chose to push everything in part 1, and now I don't care, because like you just mentioned, you see this person, they have a speech. Literally everyone has a speech
except the person with the lightsabers. I don't even know if she talked.
I don't think she talks.
Yeah.
Well, she did. She talked to the spider thing, and then that was it. Yeah. And then everyone has a little speech or something happens, and then it's like, hey, you're part of the group now. They did a better job with this in Reservoir Dogs, bringing all these different personalities together, but we actually got character development.
Man, that's not fair. Reservoir Dogs? Quentin Tarantino is a way better director.
I'm talking about like bringing people together.
Well, okay.
Okay.
It could be done. Like I said, even though I didn't like the movie that much, The Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai. Let's go with the one that did it. Seven Samurai, the Kurosawa movie, where you met these people, and it was a long movie. I think it was like 3 hours long, but in the movie's runtime, you actually got to understand why these people would do what they do, right? Yeah. In this one, it's literally like this could be a montage. You literally just jump. You keep going. You meet these people. There's no time to breathe. So like you said, I honestly think this could have been better as a miniseries where every episode you meet a new person and that episode is dedicated to that person. Then at the end, they all come together. And
it would have been fire. That would have been
amazing. And here's the thing with Zack Snyder. I think that I'm somebody who kind of, because the Snyder Cut, which I will still defend, of the Justice League, I think it was a great movie. I think it was a fantastic film.
I absolutely loved it.
I will defend that movie. Because he did that, I think it's easy to forget what Zack Snyder actually is. Like, what is the one thing I always complain about with Man of Steel? I'm like, man, they had great action, great Superman stuff, but I know nothing about Clark Kent. And it's
yes,
that's what he did with that's what he did with DC. He rushes through stuff, right, to get to a story point that he wants to tell. This literally, it feels like he just filmed a bunch of the scenes that were on the storyboard and that's the movie he made. There's no depth in between, and that's who he is. So I mean, honestly, real talk, like you kind of, I don't know if there's a positive or negative, but if you're seeing a Zack Snyder movie, you know what you're gonna get here. There's gonna be no kind of character development at all. And then the second movie is where he rushes to get to where he wants. Like, perfect example, Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. His character plays kind of like Han Solo in this movie.
Oh, it's literally Han Solo.
Yeah, he's the one who's driving or piloting the ship to go get all these people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really talk at all to Cora. Cora, he doesn't talk to Cora, or once they get these people, he doesn't talk to them. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, you know what? Seeing your friends and what they're willing to do, it's inspired me to go and help you. And literally my eyes rolled. I was like, bro, you haven't done anything. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I knew. I was just like, is this you? This is the cheesiest line ever. You don't have to do this for us to know that he's not a good character. You didn't have to add that.
Well, Joe, I don't even think he did it for that reason. I legit think that Zack Snyder wants us to believe that this team has become some sort of family. Even though he's never shown us that, right? No. The same way he tried to make us believe that in his Superman stuff, that Clark Kent and Lois Lane just loved each other more than anything, even though he never showed us
that
like
love.
Bro, what are you doing? But here's the thing, the movie is not great, but it's Zack Snyder, so I mean, it is what it is. And because I watched part 1, I feel I have to watch part 2.
I have to watch part 2.
Just to see what's going on.
I'm giving this a 2.5, man.
I'm gonna give it a 2. Like it's
I give it a 2.5. I don't watch it when you're tired, because I had to rewind it about 3 times because I kept falling asleep on the same part. It was like right after the spider lady. I kept falling asleep.
Man. I mean, so I guess the bottom line is, it's not, again, like, it's not great. I wouldn't even say it's good. But I mean, it's Zack Snyder, so you don't need. I mean, we spent what is this 20-something minutes talking about it.
Yeah, and plus, I'm tired, and it took me a while to get my thought together. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we could have had a 5-minute conversation and got all this out.
Yeah. So sorry about that, guys, but yeah. It is what it is. Rebel Moon, let us know what you think about it if you end up watching it. Please go ahead, click that subscribe button and the little bell as well. Help us out. And yeah, until next time, we out.
Bing, 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 bing. Deuces.